Hello and happy October 22nd of 2022. This clip is about triggers and how to desensitize yourself to them. It comes from a channel I had done with my guides, the council, back in May 14th of this year. So my girlfriend was having struggles with triggers and asked me to ask my guides, is there something that she could do? And obviously that applies to all of us. So I did, and this clip is about what they had to share about that. So I want to, before we get into it, just make sure we're all on the same page so that information shared today can be helpful to everybody. So let's define trigger very simply. So a trigger is when something happens either outside of you, or it could even be a thought, something inside of you, your head, a memory, that causes a reaction. And that reaction can be physical, it can be mental, emotional, or any combination of those. So the reaction can be of fear, frustration, anger. You might want to lash out, yell, you might want to hit, turn and run. You might want to shut down or shut out. So whatever it is, the reaction, you are responding in a less than controlled, calm, centered, spiritual way. You're not grounded. If you were centered and grounded, you might feel a rush of adrenaline, but you would end up quickly being able to process the situation and not allow yourself to get caught in the response. So in other words, you keep control. So this is what the exercise hopes to help you with, is to learn how to desensitize yourself to triggers so that you don't react so largely and out of control. And so first, let's take a look at a trigger as an example, which if anyone drives, you probably have had this. So let's say you're driving to work and someone cuts you off. So you have to brake, which that's frustrating, but then they slow down and there's no one in front of them. Very frustrating. So you want to do something about it. You might want to drive really close to them. You might want to shout, hey, you're a jerk. You want to let them know that they're reckless and dangerous. So anyway, you've got this reaction. You feel a bunch of emotions. You have thoughts that are flying into your head all at the same time. So you're reacting to that trigger. The trigger was the bad driver. So that's the trigger. And your reaction to the trigger causes you to lose control and get out of a centered, spiritual, grounded place, which we're all trying to keep as much as we can. You have those triggers because your ego. So your ego thinks it's being hurt or it needs to protect you in some way. So it's causing this reaction to defend you. But we have to remember, that triggers are only in this earthly world. And sometimes I might say earthly world. Sometimes I might say the 3D realm, which is where we are. And I might say spiritual world or spiritual realm, which is more of the 5D, where we're heading to as we shift. Anyway, so the triggers are only in this plane. And they're only here because we allow them to. You have to remember, we all have a choice. And we choose what we think. We choose how we react. So the truth that we need to tell our ego is that nothing can hurt us here. We are infinite soul. We're made of energy. We each have our own individual energy signature. And there's nothing in this earthly realm that can hurt us. Truly. It can't hurt our higher self. Our soul can't be hurt. So you only think you can. Your ego thinks it's being hurt or could be hurt. Whether that was a physical, mental, or emotional. That's what our trigger or our ego is telling us. But we do have a choice. Okay, so the exercise that my guides had given was to pick a trigger. So go ahead and pick one of your triggers. It might help to be one that is might be reoccurring right now in recent days, so that it's something you really can feel again. Because you want to be able to get back into that situation and feel that reaction. You want to feel the emotions that were going on from the trigger. Okay, so you picked one. All right, good. Actually, before we go on, it's important before you do these types of exercises is to get yourself into that grounded place, that centered heart space. So I have a whole little video about grounding, but just really quickly, let's just feel the ground under our feet or the floor, the carpet, and just feel that with our toes. And under your bottom, are you on a chair? Is it a soft, cushy couch? Is it a hard chair? So just be present to where you are right now. That brings you grounded, grounding into this space and into the present now. That's what really being grounded is about, is being present to right now. Okay, a couple deep breaths. Okay, and now just put your hand on your heart space. A couple more deep breaths. Now you're feeling good, you're feeling grounded. Okay, set your intention that we're going into this to help you get rid of this trigger and to desensitize yourself to it. Okay. All right, now pick a trigger. All right, let your mind get yourself back into that. You can start to feel the emotions, start to feel the reactions. All right, it's in your mind now. So let that scenario play. Let your emotions start to come out. Yeah, that's it. So run the episode though and watch it from the side. Okay, you don't want to be the one present. You're present where you are in the room, coffee shop, your car, wherever you are right now. You're not back where that happened. So you have to separate yourself from that. Okay, so you're in the audience. You're watching this happen. Maybe someone recorded you or you recorded yourself with the trigger and the reaction. So that's the case. You're just looking at it from afar. All right, so remember you're in the audience. An actor is playing you. Right, okay. Yeah, so now you've got a good spot right now. See it unfold. Okay, now is it hurting you? No. And why isn't it? Well, because it's not happening, for one thing, right? And that's the point with this, is that we have a soul self and our earth self. And so a trigger really can't ever hurt us. It can't hurt you. We only think it can. But so see how you're being triggered. And it's all based on your ego. All right, so what you want to do is to kind of keep playing this scenario different times, but you want to watch it from afar. So if you're here, you want to watch it from a vantage point, a perspective that's away. So you're in your grounded higher self state, watching the episode unfold, but now you're separated. So you're not having that. It's like watching someone else have, someone gets cut off, or there were leaf blowers here moments ago on either side of the lake. And I'm not bothered by that, but I know people who are bothered by that kind of noise. So it's like that. It's like, well, it's not happening to me, so I'm not triggered. It's no big deal. So that's where you want to have that as you look back at your scenario with your trigger. And as you're watching again, you're not in the audience, you're not on stage. An actor is playing you, and you know it's not real. So you want to get to the point when you play the episode that you can truly disconnect your present self and from that actor, the you that is in the world. So just watch it. It's a movie. It's not impacting you. It's not real. And that's what we want to remember, is that we're a soul in a body, and we truly are not our body. That's not who you are. You're energy. You are a soul, and you're infinite, so you can't be hurt. So what you're working on then in this practice is having higher consciousness. So you're able to disconnect from your higher self from your earthly self, and you can observe your own life, your own movie that we call our life, from afar. And being able to eventually, as you get better able at this, you can walk through life that way, knowing that you're here for only a short time. You're visiting, and this body is holding you That's why it's a temple. They've set in different religions, because it has your soul in it, and your soul is infinite and is divine. So you can allow that thought, I could be hurt, or I'm being hurt, to exist. But it can't hurt you. That's your choice. You can run it and say, I can be hurt, or you can go through life and say, no, I can't be hurt. I can see that myself, my true self, can't be hurt. And so higher consciousness gives you a peace of mind, because you're able to control your mind. You're able to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. So it's helpful to journal your triggers and play this game. And so you can work through your triggers. You can desensitize yourself from the effects of the triggers, and share this with someone you know and care about, so they can escape the reactions that they go through. And both of you can grow spiritually. You can help each other. So talk about them with each other, someone close to you, but expose the truth of the trigger, that you're really not being hurt. You just, you think you hate it, but like the leaf blower, but it's just a noise, just like, popcorn popping or a fire popping. It's a noise. So you're choosing to react to whatever that is, and you have a choice not to react, or you have a choice to quickly catch yourself and let that go. And that's what I hope you can do. So exposing the trigger and the truth, and the truth truly does set you free. So good luck. I hope it goes well. Bye-bye for now.